Hey crafters, it's me, Jen Evers with Quality Crafts, and we made it to another Friday. Whoop, whoop. So I'm hoping that a ton of you guys will come in because I talked about this in the very last video that we did about all the stuff that we're going to do tonight. We're just going to hang out, have fun, and basically what I entitled this one is How To Handmade Holiday Cards Starting with Halloween. So basically tips and tricks for any kind of holiday card, which could be a birthday card, a Christmas card, a Thanksgiving card, any kind of card that you need to send out, but you need like a little quick tip or trick, or maybe you need a quick card. So we'll try to do some quick cards and things like that. I have all these little things coming up. Get out of here, get out of here. So I'm really glad that you guys were able to come. I hope you bought your Friday drink, whatever that is. Mine's Diet Mountain Dew. I'm addicted. And your favorite friend as well, or your group of friends, whoever's going to come on here and hang out with you. We have the live chat going, of course. Hey, Joe Lucas. And who else we have here? Sharon Schaefer and Suzette Bradley came in earlier. Ada Rivers. Friday is my favorite if you've not been here. It's Free Play Friday. Basically, we just play around, we do different techniques, so I will do it kind of as a tutorial style, giving you ideas of what to do and how to do it step by step, but basically we're just hanging out together. So this is our crafty night. Get your groove on and get excited and get some inspiration and stuff. Now if you're ever thinking Quality Crafts and you're like, Quality Crafts, I don't remember how to get there and the community seems really overwhelming, qualitycrafts.com. Always go there first. There'll be a link to our Facebook group, which is non-commitment, non-drama, super great place to hang out, and especially if you want to be in the know on what's going on, if videos are going to be canceled or moved or anything like that. You can also get to our blog from there. You can also get to all my Amazon links from there. I'm an affiliate. I do affiliate links with Amazon, so if you're ever looking for something that I don't have in the store or you're not seeing it in the sales, if you purchase it through there and other places that I also link with, we get a small commission here at Quality Crafts, and that helps our community keep going and stay strong. So let's see. Chloe, Spike, Minnie, Maisie, and Diet Dew. Yay! Joy McCoy, get to watch live. The old people we eat and play Farkle with on Fridays didn't want to get out in the rain. Oh, well, we're glad to have you, Joy. Grandma Joy. Dawn Taylor, Sandy Marino. Penny, of course, is here. If you see people in blue and you're new and you're not sure, like, why are they blue and I'm not blue? Because they are moderators and they help to keep our whole community safe from those spammers that like to come in and they just like to come in and spew nasty words usually. I'm sorry, I feel like I have something in my eye, so let me just take care of that right off the bat so we can get moving. I have a bunch of stuff on the screen here now that I'm done yakking and inviting and saying hi to people. Cindy Wong and woo! Barbara Eastock, woo, woo! So we had two people that did not pay for their stuff at the last purchase, the last sale, which was it the 15th? Let me go back and look. Saturday the 15th. And I have a whole pile from the last 6 sales we've done of people who did not pay. So if you want to get in on all of the loot that was bought but didn't get paid for, we're going to have a super loot sale. I should probably write that down. That sounds cool. A super loot sale. I like that. Super loot sale. That just came out. Super loot sale on Friday. So instead of like our pre-sale, as we call it, we're going to call it a super loot sale. If you are a patron of mine, and if you're not, you're going to want to get in on this. So I hope somebody will show the link. Hey, Carolyn Millers. Who else did I miss? Dawn Taylor. Christina Lee. Okay, I gotta give this a hit. Christina Lee Gigliotti. I hope I said that right. We're glad you're here, so if you're new, give me hearts, because then I know. So if you're not a patron, you're going to want to get in on this. The only way you can do that is by going to patreon.com/qualitycrafts. And you'll get first dibs on all that stuff that was not paid for and shipped. So there might be like some stuff from the Halloween sale you may have missed. Maybe there was something from Tim Holtz that you missed that you didn't, or a stamp set that sold that you're like, dang it, I wish I would have had that. We will do a super loot sale on Friday in lieu of the pre-sale, because I'm getting my new flooring. Joy McCoy, you sweetheart. She did the super chat and she gave a one-time donation to the community of Quality Crafts, $5. Thank you, Joy. Boom, 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 boom. We love you. That's so awesome. Throws me off track when I do that. Anyway, I think that it will be a lot of fun, and I hope that a few more of you guys will be joining patrons so you can get in on that. It will be Friday night. I digress, but let me just go back and say when it will be. It will be Saturday the 29th, and Friday night will be that pre-sale, so get in, join Patreon, become a patron. We'll get you into there, and then you can be in on the super loot sale. Blah, blah, blah. What else was I going to say? Did I miss Jane? Jane Brown! Whoop, whoop. Jill Lucas! Cheers! Heaven Sent with Love is here. Don't forget to give your big thumbs up, she said. We are going to do, like I said in the beginning, and then I kind of lost my track here. Elise, you made it too! Lisa Gummy is here. Whoop, whoop. So we're going to do some really fun techniques. We're going to start out with this one because I like making my own paper. My goodness, we've got another one from Lori Wisniewski Winger. We call her Lori Ellen. So if you see that, that's Lori Ellen. She writes our blog. So make sure that you check out the blog. It's going to be amazing. She's got all kinds of really cool information on there. Jill Lucas, thanks to Jen, I have a bin on my bed of craft stuff for making cards. Oh, guys, if you didn't know, Jill Lucas is at home on bed rest, right? For how long? 6 to 8 weeks? Hey, Kathy Godwin. So let's go ahead and get started on making this. Now, you could, maybe you're making a card and you're like, okay, I need this holiday card, but I don't have wedding stamps, or I don't have, but I have maybe Valentine stamps. So then you would make a background using Valentine stamps and create your own background paper. Thank you, Cindy. She said, wow, that paper is awesome. So I created this just using a stamp and a really simple watercolor technique. I'd like to start out with that today, but these are also some other goodies that I have that I may be using. I have a bag full of random ribbons and yarns. I've got some pre-cut stuff over here. I've got some what I consider, if this did not leak, it will never leak if I tip it over like that. It's a Revo Max. If you purchase that through Amazon, you will not regret it. I totally love this bottle. Anyway, I've got some papers that I feel are like Halloweenish colors and that kind of thing. Who's loopy? Jill, you're kind of loopy? That's okay, girl. We're glad to have you. I've got some other stamp sets from Stampin' Up! That we may be using, and I just want to show you them because these are really cute. Most of these are listed down below, and if we couldn't find them on Amazon or anything because they're retired or whatnot, we found them linked you to maybe an eBay sale where you can get one. This has all the little teeny tiny things on it. Deb Hook, hello! And I really love this one. Check this out. With the cat, and you can Halloween accessorize with him. Anyway, I'm going to be using a little bit of all this depending on how much time we have. Here's a little bit more kind of Halloweenish and browns, greens. You use what you like. I just feel like Halloween seems like black, orange, purple kind of thing, which is technically kind of like Christmas is green and red. It keeps your drink cold for 24 hours or more. If you put a bunch of ice in there, or even just a halfway or a third of the way of ice, then your drink will stay cold for 24 hours. I love it. Anyway, I didn't come here to make that commercial, but if you're ever looking for that truly, I mean, you guys have seen me use this forever and a day, and I've had it for several years, and I absolutely love it. I bought everyone in my family one. My mom came to visit, and she was still carrying it. She takes it everywhere. KCW, hello! Cheers! We made it to a Friday. Hallelujah. I love Fridays. Let me go ahead and cut this down just a little bit. Oop, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. I think I'm going to, instead of doing the bat, instead of doing the spider, I think I'm going to do the bat. But, well, I do want to show you a little trick here. Where's my little paper thing? My little super loot thing. Revo Max. You got it. That's exactly what it is. Revo Max. I wish I would have put it down a link for you, but I wasn't planning on doing any kind of commercial for it. But anyway, these ones are Stampin' Up. I think we may have linked to one, but they may be a little bit hard to find. They're called Boogly Eyes. Ooh, right here. Boogly Eyes by Stampin' Up. Boogly Eyes. Love, love, love them. I got them from the fabulous Jen Rains, I believe, on one of her crafty sales that she did. God rest her soul. She was awesome. She is really missed. Using a Post-it note to cover up the part that you don't want to show. So I covered up the string, because you can see there's a whole piece of string here. I covered up the string with my Post-it note, then stamped it on the black, bump, 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 then removed this so it didn't take the black from my paper, and then stamped it. And that's how I got this. And, you know, I was kind of a rush job, so I got a little bit of string there, but that's okay. It looks really cool anyway. It doesn't matter. And this has gotten like extra stiff, really rigid, and I like that because then you can do really rough edges, and that you get that just by doing that watercolor technique and getting water on the paper and then drying it. It just has a really, really fun like feel to it, a really neat texture. So that's how I did that. So if you've got a stamp that you really, really want to use, like the little image on it, but it's got, oh, look, I'm just starting to flake some of my fingernail polish. It's time to renew. Anyway, if you have something like that and you want to just get rid of something on the stamp, go ahead and use your Post-it note, cover it up. There's one of your tips for the day. So I want to do this bat. I want to do this boogly bat on the background. And so just in case, so I don't have to worry about things going over and wiping up on my mat, I'm going to grab a piece of printer paper. I'll give you another tip too. If you work in the school district, always bring an extra pair of pants and shorts to work. Why? Because sometimes you get there and you realize the air that they have on is way too cold for you, or you misread the weather in the morning and you wear shorts and you need a long pair of pants and you got one. Or, you know, there's other things that they say. Did you say you are a flake? Am I a flake? Depends on your definition. I may be. But anyway, it worked out in my favor because I always bring extra pants and shorts. When you work with special needs kids too, you always have to be aware you might get spit up on, or you might get things flung at you. Enough said. You just never know. So I'm going to start out with this little bat, and I'm going to go off the edge a little bit so it looks as if I've taken a piece of paper, like patterned paper, and just cut a piece off of it. So I'm kind of like making it look like I didn't create it, but even though I did. I hope that makes sense. I feel like a flake today. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. So there we go. I've got handmade background paper, but to make it cooler, we're going to add some of that watercolor effect that you see here. And I went a little wonky and a little bit dark with my colors and stuff. I don't know if we'll end up getting that super dark, but I'll show you how this is done. It's really easy. I'm going to flip this over so those bats that are on there don't make my eyes all buggy. And I have a bunch of markers here. These markers come in a set that goes wide out. It's wide and flat, and they're all in a row. I threw them in here because this is easier for me. They're two-sided, but I normally use the brush side. And I think I'm going to make this background, like that one, purple. So I'm going to pick a purple. This one looks good. And a block. You can do this right on your craft mat, too, if you want, but a block works. And I'm just going to scribble down some of that purple color. And then you can use a water brush, or you can bring in, if you have a one like me. Yep, my blue mat is new. That's actually linked in one of my videos, but I can't remember which one offhand. Or if you have a rinse well like me. Okay, if you have the rinse well, this is linked in a lot of my videos as well. It's just a little well of water that comes down. You can use this. You can use this too if you don't have water brush. Water brush is something that's got water in the barrel, and then it comes through the brush on the end, and you can use that. But I think right now I'm just gonna go ahead and use this little paintbrush with this color. I'm gonna add a little bit of water, and then I'm gonna just wet this down. And I'm a little bit of water. And so I've got like essentially a little palette here of purple. And then I'm just going to take that and just kind of outline and take that color as far as it'll take me. And then just keep dipping back in if I have to. And it's watercolor. It's a watercolor effect, so you don't have to get super perfect with it. So I added a lot more water that time. The more water you add, the less likely you're going to get all the little paint marks. But right now I'm not really too concerned about that. What I want to do is just cover this background. This is one of my favorite techniques. If you're ending up with a lot of dark spots, then just add more water. Got a little bug here. I'm just going to get rid of him. If you want to do this with your markers at home, just make sure they're not alcohol based. Grab a watercolor, water-based marker. You can always go back in and add color. This is not watercolor paper. This is just Nina 110-pound cardstock. Exact Index, it's called. That's the kind I use. And I have my little Lawn Fawn. I haven't wet it down yet, but it's my little Lawn Fawn chamois. If you get a chance to get one of these, they're awesome. They're amazing. Super absorbent. And I'm just going to use whatever's left on there to fill in any little white gaps that I had. Now it's darker on this side, as you can see, but don't let that freak you out. What I do is I just keep adding. So I added more to this one, and you can see it's a really watercolory, like moving kind of background, which is cool. You don't have to color all these guys in. If you just want to make a focal point on a card, you can just grab another one. Like here, I have one already colored, and you can just put him in the corner, and that would be the end of it. If you want him to just pop out more, you make a larger circle of black or something behind him and then put him on the card and he would pop out. As well as a border around this too. So I may cut it down just a tad. Otherwise, if you want to, you can color in all these little cuties too. Totally up to you what kind of time you have, how much time you want to spend on it. But I want to make them pop a little bit more. So I'm going to go in here and grab like a dark bluish purple. I've got a dark kind of a blue. They both look kind of purple. Let's see. What do they say on here? I don't think they actually give you names, which is fine. I'm going to go with this dark. I'm going to scribble it on here and see what I get. That's much darker than the one I had. And it would help me if I would wipe this off with my chamois and soak some of that water up. Yeah, I ended up with these super dark ones on the spider. Because I went direct to paper with my marker, and then I went, whoa, that was a lot. It was too much. I freaked out a little bit when I did that one. I got a little bit of water on this marker, so I'm going to have to wait until that color starts creeping back out of that marker there. There we go. Hey, Susie Q. So I'm going to just put a couple of drops. You'll be able to see that on here. It actually looks really cool. You see that? The more water you add, the lighter the color's going to be, obviously. I added more water than I intended, but I still feel like that's going to totally be darker than what I had. So pick one side, okay? One side of whatever you're doing to make him stand out a little bit more. Like, I'm kind of going off this angle. If you do like all the way around him, that would be cool, but this kind of makes him look like he's standing out on this one side. It's hard for me to explain because, like, I don't have the technical names for all that stuff, but this is what I did. This is how I did the spider one. Just went around him a little bit, coming from the same side. I didn't worry about whether I went into him or not, because you can always put something in, and that's what I like about watercolor. You don't have to be perfect. Ain't nobody got time for that. See? And then, if you really, really like the dark part of the spider, as some of you guys were saying, you really like how that turned out, I took the same marker and I went along the edge, marker direct onto the paper. But it was like way too much. I thought it was way too much. So I'm going to try to just do a little tiny bit. Because trust me, if you do this, this is not going to blend out. Maybe if you have watercolor markers on watercolor paper, you could get a little blending here, but it's not going to blend out with these water-based markers on here. It's just going to give you a really dark line there. And then you can go back over it with this again. So there's my dark lines, and that really makes them pop. Alrighty, and then I'm going to go back over it one more time just to darken it up a little bit right where I put that marker. Because I felt when I did it the first time, I went, oh my goodness, that's like way too dark. Oh, what did I do? What have I done? But then when I went over it again with this, I was like, oh, well, that doesn't look so bad. It looks like I meant to make it really super dark so that he pops out, and he certainly does, doesn't he? Bam! In your face. I would say the light source is coming from the opposite way because that's the side the shadow's landing on. If the light source was coming from this way, the shadow would be on the other side. I thought that the purple was a typical Halloween color, but I think we're all a little different in that. Alright, so I'm wiping this off. You don't have to scrub so hard, but I didn't wet down my... This should be already wet, and then it would just suck it right up, but I didn't wet it ahead of time. So let's say you don't like the color of that. You can always add more. Like I said, you can color the bats, but for this purpose, I'm going to go ahead and use my heat tool, and I'm going to dry this a little bit so that we can cut edges and make it fuzzy. So maybe if you're doing Halloween, anniversary, birthday, these would be hearts. Or if you're doing a Christmas, maybe they're little reindeer. Whatever you have that's already in your stash that you can use. Hey, Joan Warner. So you see the paper's curling up, you know that it's getting dry. If you want it to go curl back the other way, just flip it over and go from the back. And there it's kind of curling down and flattening back out. It won't be perfect, that's for sure. Okay. I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to trim it down a little bit. So I trimmed off about 1/4 inch, and I'll show you why. Because if we grab one of these guys, A2 card bases, 5.5 by 4 1/4, and we fold this in. Okay, there will be a little bit of a white border. And if you don't want the white border, I'm going to show you a trick to do this. I know I've done this before, so some of you guys who have been following me, hey, Mia Smartcraft, some of you guys who have been following me will already know this trick. And not to say that these are tricks that only I know. I mean, obviously, I've learned from some of the best as well. But I'm just passing them on to you. Maybe something that you're like, oh yeah, I used to know that. I don't know why I don't do that anymore. I can totally do that. Crafty Carolina! You need my hat? It's getting too cold. Alright, I'm going to make sure that I try to put this right in the middle, or the best I can. So if you want to make this pop, you can go around the edge. I'm going to try to find my black. And try to follow this without bumping over the edge. It'll look like we added a piece of black paper underneath when we really didn't. It'll save you paper too. And it'll make it pop. Just a line around it. So now you've got that double layered look, and you didn't even have to waste time cutting paper or anything like that. We just put her down, and there you go. Now we could do some little things on these little bat guys and all that stuff. I think I'm going to put him, since he's also a bat, obviously, as the focal point and pop him up. You could pop him like he's coming out of the page, like he was actually stamped there, and lift him up, or you can put him randomly in the middle of a bunch of them. I think I'm going to pretend this one's the one I stamped and pop him up, or you can fussy cut or bubble cut him out and put him on there. You can also do a folded piece of paper and make him a wiggle wobble card. I'm going to show you that real quick. I just feel like there's never enough time when we do these things. I'm going to get two pieces about the same size, and if they're not exactly, that's okay. If you don't have wobbles and you just want one really quick, just go ahead and use two pieces of paper. Alright, so these are good for Christmas cards or Valentine's cards, any kind of holiday cards you're doing. We just happen to be doing Halloween today to show you. So you're going to flip one over and one up, and just keep going crisscross. Crisscross like this. This is your homemade wobble. Homemade wobble. And then I'm just about to the end, so I'm going to put a little touch of glue there. I'm going to glue that piece down. And where's my little scissors? Oh, I got my big scissors here. That'll work. And then just cut the last piece off. Okay, so you've got this little like springy thing. We learned these in like kindergarten, first grade. Boing, 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 boing. And you're going to put a little bit of glue on here. Don't make them really tall or long, because otherwise they're just going to fall off the card. And glue it down to your page first, and I'll show you why in a minute. Jill, I do have a how to make your own wobbles. This is essentially what we decided was the best one. And then you're going to want to put a little glue on here. Decide how you want, like you want him to turn up like this. You're going to glue him on like that. Because they do twist and pop, and if you do it, if you don't put them on there after it's already up, he might end up turning a little bit. So just keep that in mind. I was going to back him in black, and I didn't, but he does pop out. And he does wobble a lot. Would it really be fun to put some little wobbly eyes on there too? You know what? I could probably get, oops. Well, if I was steady enough. Do this before you glue it down. I'm just going to do my own black around the edge. It's Halloween, so if it's not straight, if it's crooked and stuff, that'll be all right. You could even go around it and make it look like drippy goo too. Alrighty, so there's like one idea, and a lot of tips and tricks in this card. Now we'll do a card where we're like, okay, I don't have a lot of time. I have to have a card for this little birthday party or whatever. And obviously it's Halloween, but stick with me here. We're going to fold our base, 4.5 or 4 1/4 by 5.5, regular A2 size card base. Thank you guys. Diane T. Thanks. So here's our card, and now we're like going, okay, I only have a few minutes. I have to make a really quick card for this birthday. Be it a little boy or a little girl. Mostly they're excited about the gift. They're not worried about how awesome the card is, right? Take a drink. Cheers. One really quick thing to do, and I don't have them around here, but here's a tip. Just spray the background with your sprays. The blue mat, we do have a link for the blue mat. Thanks, Kathy. I'm sure that Penny could find it. I didn't wipe this guy off. Let me just dip my mat in here. Not my mat. Let me just dip my little lawn fawn thing in here and get this wet. Oh, I sprinkled a little water on there. That's okay. Because I'm going to use this to wipe my stamp off as well. Do you see that? And that black will stick on there, but it doesn't hurt anything. I've got black on the other side too. Just keep using it and abusing it, and it just keeps on working. So I'm going to just wipe up a little of that water that I just sprayed. Put my card back down. If you don't have a sprayer or whatever, we're still going to use this idea of putting the color on here. So let's do like maybe a little bit of red, since this one's Halloween. You can do red and green for Christmas, whatever you want to do. If you have an old toothbrush hanging around, that works really well too. I'm just going to add a little bit of water here. And then you can hang on really tight on this end and then bang on the other end and get a bunch of splatters. It's going to splatter on your desk too, so just be aware of what's underneath whatever you're splattering. But for Halloween, you know, maybe that looks like blood. Not my favorite thing, but it's a fun look nevertheless. Now I've got little specks all over, and I'll have to clean that up when I'm completely done. But I'm not going to worry about that this instant. So we've got a whole bunch of spatter here. If you've got sprays, go ahead and just spray the background. And the quickest thing to do is just stamp one little image. Whatever kind of image you have, and that would go in one of the corners, and then you could write something on the other side. Let's see if I have one circle that's a little bit bigger than that. I wonder if this one will do. So they're going to do our flooring next week. And so it's been just really hairy around here trying to find spots for everything. And it covers up where all my supplies are. And one more week though, and it's going to be so awesome. Nope, that one's too small. I need something a little bigger than that. This one's going to be way too big, but it'll do the trick. You just gotta look around your craft room and like just go with what you have. That's gonna be a little bit too big, but it's still gonna totally work. If you want to add a little bit more bang in there, then go ahead and use some of your scraps of stuff that you got hanging around. I've got some orange right here that I think would look really cool. So if you're not good at bows, then don't do bows. Do where's my little thing? Get yourself something, a pair of scissors or something that will make this look a little bit more raggedy. Okay, if you don't have a tool like that, then just use the edge of your scissors, your sisters. But be careful when you're doing the scissors that you don't cut yourself, because that's a possibility. So then that makes it look a little bit more rugged. So here's what I was going to say. If you can't tie bows, don't tie bows. Just fold it. I want it to stick out a little bit, so fold it so that it's going to stick out. Cut some of it off. Alrighty. And then you know this is going to go on somewhere in here, right? I'm going to even make it so that it sticks out the bottom as well. And then I'm going to staple this on. Where be my stapler hiding? I'm still totally not used to this whole room and how this is set up. I think I have staples in here. I do. Alright, so I tried to do the staple right in the middle because then I can put this on top and I'm going to pop it up. You guys like to pop up with foam tape? I love foam tape and I've got it in the store at qualitycrafts.com. So you can head over there and get yourself some. And I'm just going to pop him up on there. So now we've got this little quirky little emblem, right? That didn't take us any time at all, and we're just going to glue it down to the card base. Bing, 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 bing. I'm just going to hit every one of those little scallops because I can. You don't have to. It's just fun. I think it's fun. And then just put it on there. And with your own handwriting, if it's for a kid's card, just write happy birthday or happy Halloween or whatever. They do not mind. They're more into the candy and stuff like that. So you can also flick other colors on there too, or like I said, go ahead and just spray it. So that didn't take me any time at all. This little guy, because he's mostly gray and just has some little blue boogly eyes, he didn't take any time at all to color. So this is like a 5-minute card. Super easy. Here's the first one that we did for people that are coming in now. We did a little wobble of the bat. You could color all the bats in, or you don't have to color the bats in. Doesn't really matter. Let's do another one. So I pulled out another. I knew I wouldn't be able to use all the stuff I pulled out. That's just life. I only have an hour and I've got a bazillion ideas coming out of my head, so. Another thing is punches too. Let's do a punch. So I've got some black paper. I'm just going to punch out this spider. I was really hoping to get some more of these spiders, but I like to use stuff that I've hung on to for years and years, and apparently they go out of style and then you can't get them anymore, and it's just a bummer. That'll sit there. So this is even an easier one. You can just go ahead and put a couple of cutouts, and if you do these guys, I know there's other spiders out there, just maybe not specifically these. If you do these, we can put a little bit of, okay, too long, cut a little piece off, just trying to get on his body, his torso there. So don't forget, if you're not a patron, you're going to want to join, because what we're going to start doing is for the people that are not paying for their items, we're going to have, a super loot sale. So we're going to open up those bags and boxes of stuff that people didn't pay for, and we're going to sell those. So you might have missed out on a Halloween sale, or a stamp you really wanted, or some Tim Holtz stuff that you really wanted, that kind of thing. You're going to want to join us for that, because all kinds of stuff that you may have felt like you didn't get in on it, those are going to show up again, but only for the patrons. So that'll be in the Patreon, in the patron group. So go to patreon.com/qualitycrafts. They are spooky, aren't they? Creepy. They're creepy and they're crawly. And you're like, well, that doesn't look very good. So let's just add some stuff. Let's see what we can add. Don't be afraid of adding things, using your own, oh, did I pick up a brown? I thought this was black. Of your own drawing and stuff. Especially for kids' cards, because they don't mind. They're just like, wow, that's cool. So I'm just adding a web here. Adding a web. Because webs are creepy too. There we go. Some of you guys might be better at making webs than me. And then maybe he was, you know, maybe there's little footy prints. I don't know how we'd pull that off. He's got 8 legs, so I'm sure there's a whole bunch of, you know, coming from that foot and that foot. And of course I'm doing this in a hurry because of the video. I don't want you to have to wait around while I make every single card, or I wouldn't get very many cards out. But he's crawling up that way. That's kind of creepy looking too. And then again, you can spray the background. You can use colored paper for the background. So let's say we didn't want to do that kind of thing. Maybe we wanted to add some colored paper. We could put those spiders on practically anything. And I think, where's that green? That creepy green. If you have some papers like these where there's white and there's color, you can get something that looks like this where where's my little scraper? A fingernail file or anything that you have some really cheap kind of sandpaper, and just sand off the top and the white shows through. This stuff will do it too. Run it through your Cuttlebug or whatever you have, and then that comes up through, you know. So here's another one that we can use as a background because we Cuttlebugged it or big shotted it or whatever, and then we scraped off some of the white or some of the black, and the white shows through. So where is another one? Here, we'll make this a card base. That's the same size, so you're going to cut down just maybe 1/4 of an inch on either side. However you choose to do it so that it's a little bit smaller. You don't have to. I just prefer that. I think it looks really cool. So we can put that down. Which song, Penny? The Baby Shark song? What are you blaming me for? I'll take full responsibility if I agree. And I'm going to do that same trick that we did before. I think this is an orange, but if not, it's close enough. It's probably red. And I'm going to do the edges with this color. Oh, the Addams Family. Days of the week. 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 We do that in kindergarten. There's Sunday and there's Monday. There's Tuesday and there's Wednesday. There's Thursday and there's Friday. And then there's Saturday. Days of the week. 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 Then we put the spider on here, but now he's going to kind of disappear. So we might want to put him on top of one of these spooky green ones. Spooky green color. And that's just not Halloweenish enough, so I'm going to go ahead and actually let's spray this. Where's my water? This was my mica water. So I've got mica in there. And I'm just going to spray this off to the side. So now it's shiny, but I'm using that so that the paper will crumple better. Now everybody sing! Susan Cheryl. I didn't go to kindergarten, probably why I missed that song. So now we've got, you know, a little bit more texture in there. Let's go ahead and dry that up. And Jill, I'm not the reason that you have that special place thing on your bed to color with. That was all your daughter's idea, you know. That was all her. Okay. That is cool. I'm going to go ahead and use this. Where are we at? We got about 15 minutes left, so hopefully we'll get another card in here. I wanted to just give you a bunch of different ideas of how you can just put some cards together. We'll go ahead and pop him up too. So this next Friday will be Super Loot Friday. We're going to be showing the loot that was purchased but never paid for. And if you are a patron, that will be shown on the patron private group. So you'll get dibs on purchasing whatever didn't get sold. So if you want to get in on that, or if you want to get in on the pre-sales, which usually come on Friday, which we'll get back to at some point, make sure that you join us on Patreon so that you can get in on that. Because if you're just a regular KTC member on Facebook, it won't be on there. It'll be in the private group. So you need to be a patron to get in there. I'm just going to wet this down so I can get this red off of here so we can move on. Well, now kindergarten is more like first grade. That's what I think. Every grade is like higher than it used to be. Like what they expected you to have coming into kindergarten, you have to like already know when you come into kindergarten. That's crazy. So you could put all your bling on there and your little sentiments and all that too. But this is just another quick idea. This is just a card front, so I'll have to glue that on another card. But it's a cutout, a couple of cutouts, and a little Cuddlebugged piece in the background, and that's it. And you've got a quick card. What I mean by the items that didn't sell, I mean people that did not pay for their orders. And so there's boxes and bags full of stuff down here that may contain things that you really wanted that you didn't get a chance to see, or you didn't get a chance to come that week or whatever. So you never know what's going to come out of them. That's going to be really cool. So here's one that we made that's a wiggle card. We made our own background paper. And then here's the one we just made. And then here was another one where we flicked the background. So I said, if you need a fast card, go ahead and just spray it. You should do this once a month. You mean like just showing you fun, quick ways to make cards? Let's see what I got left. I got another card base left. So we can make at least one more. Oh, look, and you can see the pattern here. Maybe not so well on your end. I can see it, though. Yeah, invitations to parties, you know, whatever you guys need. It doesn't just have to be a holiday card, but holiday cards are usually something that we're like, oh my gosh, I'm off to a whatever party, and I need this, I need a card. So it doesn't have to take a ton of time to make one. You can even use background stamps. So here I've got a big background stamp. I was going to tell you what it is, but there's nothing on it. Jill, we can deal with that later, hon. Don't worry about it. I'll get to it. We knew that you were in the hospital, so it's plenty fine, my friend. Alrighty, and then I don't lift these up. I just put my paper down and just give it a press, because otherwise you get the ink everywhere and you're not sure if you got it pressed in every spot. This is just much easier. Some people put a piece of scrap paper over the top so they don't get their hand dirty. Oh, Jill, I'm not going to sell your stuff, hon. Oh my gosh, that would be so mean. I would never do that. No, if you're in contact with me, it's not a problem. We can work things out. I'm talking, it's been a week or more or a month or 4 sales ago and people didn't ever claim the stuff that they purchased or pay for it, so I'm just going to start reselling it. Might as well. Joe Lucas, we're guarding it. Where's my sock? I'm missing my sock right now here at the moment. Where did I put him? I just wanted to make sure this was dry. I'm feeling a little claustrophobic down here, having to move everything in on me. No excuse why I'm missing my sock, although it probably just grew legs and walked away. It's around, I'm sure. So here's another really quick background. Boom, that's done. And this is kind of creepy, I think. So we can go ahead and add this guy. He's a little Frankenfry. And so you could just pop it on. Or if you like it better this way, you could pop it on this way. I'm going to put this one directly down, like right here, and have something coming off the bottom. Where's my bag of special stuff? A special K-bag. There it is. I don't want to use the orange again because I just used that. Maybe I can find some funky green. Here's some green. And here's some more green. Yeah, that's why I say, you know, when people don't pay the day after, now it's going to be by 5 p.m. on Sunday because I go to bed early and I work all week. If people don't pay by then, it's just going to get thrown in the super loot sale. Because during the week when I'm dealing with school stuff, I just don't have the stamina to come home from work and then deal with trying to find people and chase people. I mean, I do send out several reminders. So if you have a throws me off whenever Chuck uses water upstairs and I'm talking and shh. Just keep in contact with me. So like if you know that you're going to have something's going on, like Jill went into the hospital, you can't control that. Let me know what's going on. I can work it out. I can work things out with you. But the people that don't answer me when I send out I usually send out 2 reminders. One the day of, or I mean the next morning in case you didn't see it the night before, and then sometime in the middle of the day or maybe Sunday evening. But anyway, I digress. It just makes it a lot more fun for everybody if people just pay on time, because the rules are there for a reason. Yeah, we're super glad you're home. I'm going to go ahead and... I was thinking maybe I don't want to staple this, but I do. Because you're going to see it on the inside, but I don't really mind. Because I want them to stay there. And then I'm going to put this guy on the top. Ooh, I was hoping that I wouldn't have to pop him up, but that is too much of a bump. So I will, because I wanted to do around him black on the bottom, but I'm not really going to get a chance to do that. But this is just another way. All I did was use a big background stamp to create that background. That's it. And he looks kind of like a Halloween ribbon. You win! You win the Halloween prize! We can still do the outside. Oh, I still have this brown marker out. Did I not grab black? Here we go. I thought I did the first time. There we go. Go ahead and do this before you glue it on if this is the kind of thing that frustrates you. That looks good because he pops a lot more that way. We can also add background to that one too. If you guys missed the beginning, let me just go ahead and do let's do a little bit of orange. I think orange would be fun. Where's that one? That deep orange. Is it this one? Oh, I think this one's red. That's okay. We'll do red. And I'm just going to do some that's coming out from him. So cards don't have to take oodles and oodles of time. People are just really happy that they get some sometimes, especially kids. You know, if you're making kids cards, they're just happy to spend time with you, you know. I want to add some more to that one. We're just about out of time. Yes, Sherry, that was a really good question. So Patreon does not bill anybody until the 1st of the month. So if you join now, you won't be billed until the 1st of October. You will still be added into the group when I'm done here. You will also still be able to get in on the next sale, which would be the Super Loot sale next Friday. Is this? I tried to go for the orange. I don't want to do the super thick or the super fluorescent one because I don't want it to be crazy bright. Let's try this one. That'll work. Thanks, Susan Baker. She said don't forget to put your thumbs up in there and leave white space. There's another really great tip that sometimes we forget to mention. It balances out what you're looking for when you leave some spaces white. So not everything has to be colored in. So there's some white on there in between my rows. And that looks cool. So let me just pop a couple of these things out of our way. And we'll do a little wrap up and I'll show you what we've made tonight in case you came in a little bit late and you want to see them all. Thanks, Peggy. I really appreciate that. I had so much more stuff I wanted to do tonight, but you know, an hour always seems like I'm going to have so much time. And it goes by like a blink of an eye. Put these guys away. And don't underestimate the power of using your post-it notes for masking and stuff, which I talked about in the very beginning. In case there's a part of your stamp, like a sentiment or something that you don't want to stamp, put your post-it note on there and cover it up, ink it up, and then take your post-it note off and stamp the part that you want to be stamped. I have some extra stuff here. And as you can see, I've got that spray that I did. If you have an old toothbrush, it sprays better, but I just used a brush, a regular brush, and just tapped it on my hand. Excellent way to make your own spray. Alrighty, so we started out with this one. This was the one that I made ahead of time. Started making the paper, and I've got red flecks on there too. I don't know if you can see it, but that's another little added bonus. Oh, Bessie had a question. Did I miss it? Sometimes I get so into what I'm doing, I miss it. How do you find kits? I would Google card making kits. I do have kits once in a while, and we'll have some Christmas ones coming out very soon. All of the Halloween kits I made are sold. But yeah, I would just Google it. There's a lot of different kits out there. And so this was one that we just did. background stamp. This one was making your own background paper if you have stamps, but you don't have paper all ready to go. Super easy one for kids. Just do some cutouts in your own kind of drawing and put it on a card. Make a little focal point with a super easy one and spray your background, because spraying your background is really fast and easy. Another one was that we did a Cuttlebug with a white core paper so that you could scratch off the top and the white would come through. And on this one there's a border. Makes us look like we've got double border, but actually it was just a marker that we drew it on. And this one as well. The black marker around the background looks like we added an extra layer, but we didn't. And then you can go ahead and color these background little guys like we did with the spiders, but you don't have to. There we left them black and white. And we did a pop-up. If you go back in this video, you'll be able to see how to make your own little wobbly. I do have another wobble video as well. Yep, right underneath this video there should be a thumbs up. And if you click the little bell icon, you should get notified when I put out new videos as well. You're so welcome, Peggy. I really love having all you guys here. Thank you so much for coming. So, today is Friday. This is not a sale weekend, but next weekend will be. So join the Patreon group so that you can join in on our... I lost it already. Our, Thanks, Jill. So if you want to join in on the super loot sales that's going to go on next Friday. I'm also trying to read comments while I'm yakking. Then join Patreon right away tonight so that we can get you added, or sometime early this coming week. Don't wait until next Friday night, because I'll be too busy and my two other helpers are going to be busy and we won't be able to add you in time, and then you'll be sad. So join right away. That next one is going to be, let me pull up calendars. So the loot sale is going to be, you guys are so sweet, Friday evening, the 28th, after the live, the Friday free play live like we're doing right now. We will do the loot sale, the super loot sale on Friday the 28th. The regular sale for everyone else will be on Saturday the 29th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. like usual. If for any reason something goes wonky with my flooring and I have to reschedule or do anything like that, you're going to find out by being a part of our group on Facebook called Quality Crafts. You don't have to commit to anything in that group. There's no drama. You just have to join it so that you can get all of the updates and stuff so that you're not missing out and you're not sitting around waiting for something that might not happen. Now, if I don't get a hold of anybody on there to say anything, then everything is totally fine. Lisa Gummy, that is a really good question. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that for you. Let me make a note. She wanted to know if you can do... She wanted to know if you can do Patreon through PayPal. That's a really good question. I'll look that up. And that was Lisa Gummy. So Lisa, I'll try to get back to you sometime this evening yet. All right? And I'll post that in our group too. Okay, so, and also I will still be doing the 10-minute card, the 1 in 10 by Jen on Wednesday. I should have enough, around me within the envelope to pull that off without a problem. So I will see you guys next week on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time for 1 in 10 by Jen. And then Friday the 29th will be the, why can't I never remember that? The Super Loot Sale. And then the Saturday the 29th will be 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. will be our regular sale. You're not going to want to miss this sale, because if I have time during this week, anywhere that I can squeeze it in, we have a whole ton of new stuff sitting around here with another big box coming. and it's gonna be super fun. You're not gonna want to miss it because there's just so much. I'm so excited, and I can't even tell you like what. There's boxes and boxes of all kinds of different stuff. So it's gonna be really cool. Kathy Godwin says yes, you can do it through PayPal. Joy McCoy says yes, it goes through PayPal. Thank you guys for helping me out. I really appreciate that. Deb Hooks Crafty Cottage says no, but you have to be in Patreon in order to get early sales, not available to non-Patreon. I hope you got my envelope. Crafty Carolina Gal. I think we have. If you want to private message me anytime to find out if I do have an envelope from you, please feel free and I will let you know. Sometimes I just forget to say, hey, I got something, you know, because I'm so ultra busy, especially with school being back in session, right? Yes. Okay, so if you've got questions, please join our group on Facebook, and that's for your benefit as well as mine. Inspiration, non-commitment, non-drama, and that's where you're going to find all of the information that's going out so you don't miss anything on here. So we really invite you to join us there, and I can't wait to see you guys next video.